The practice green at Bay Hill was buzzing with its usual Saturday morning energy when someone noticed Rory McIlroy wasn't following his routine. Instead of starting on the putting green, he went straight to the range, hit a few balls, then stopped. Within minutes, the news hit, and the golf world froze. McIlroy, the defending champion at both the Players and the Masters, had withdrawn from the Arnold Palmer Invitational just 35 minutes before his tee time. It's only the second time in nearly 2 decades he's pulled out of a tournament. As he got into his car to leave, a reporter asked if he was okay. McIlroy gave a thumbs up and said 3 words that offered a sliver of hope: "I'm all good." But with the Players starting in 5 days and the Masters just 33 days away, the golf world is holding its breath. Subscribe for the full story of the injury scare that just rocked the PGA Tour. March 7, 2026 started like any other tournament Saturday at Bay Hill. The Florida sun was warm, the crowds were filing in, and Rory McIlroy was preparing for his 3rd round with the kind of quiet focus that's defined his career. He sat at 4 under par, tied for 9th, just 9 shots behind leader Daniel Berger after a second-round 68 that included 5 birdies. A weekend charge was possible, the tournament was still in play. But something felt off from the beginning. According to Golf Channel's Brentley Romine, who was monitoring player preparations, McIlroy deviated from his usual routine. Instead of starting on the putting green, he went straight to the range. For a player as meticulous as McIlroy, any change in routine raises eyebrows. What happened next raised alarms. McIlroy hit balls for only a couple of minutes before making the difficult call. The back spasms that started as a small twinge in the gym had worsened and weren't going away. About 30 minutes before his 12:55 p.m. tee time, the decision was made. Later, a statement would explain what went wrong. "While warming up in the gym this morning, I felt a small twinge in my back. As I started hitting balls on the range before the round, it worsened and developed into muscle spasms in my lower back. Unfortunately, I'm not able to continue and have to withdraw. I was excited to compete this weekend. I wish the Arnold Palmer Invitational a great finish and look forward to being back next year." The timing couldn't be worse. McIlroy was scheduled to defend his title at the Players' Championship next week at TPC Sawgrass, one of golf's most prestigious events. More importantly, the Masters looms just weeks away on April 9th to 12th, where McIlroy will defend the green jacket he finally captured in 2025 to complete the career Grand Slam. As McIlroy got into his car to leave, a reporter asked if he was okay. He gave a thumbs up and said, "I'm all good." But the golf world wasn't convinced. For a player who has built his reputation on toughness and reliability, this was only his 2nd PGA Tour withdrawal in a career spanning nearly 2 decades. The first came in 2013 at the Honda Classic, when he walked off mid-round citing severe wisdom tooth pain. This was different. This was the back, and back issues have a way of lingering. When Rory McIlroy walked off the Bay Hill property Saturday morning, he did something he's only done twice in nearly 2 decades as a professional. He withdrew from a PGA Tour event. The statistics are staggering. In his entire PGA Tour career, spanning from 2007 to 2026, this marks just the 2nd time McIlroy has failed to complete a tournament. The first came in 2013 at the Honda Classic, when he walked off during the 2nd round, initially citing a sore wisdom tooth, later admitting his head wasn't in the right place. That's it. 2 withdrawals in nearly 20 years. For context, Tiger Woods has withdrawn from tournaments 11 times in his career. Phil Mickelson has done it 8 times. McIlroy's durability and consistency have been hallmarks of his greatness. But here's what makes this withdrawal different. It's the back. McIlroy has dealt with back issues before. At the 2023 Tour Championship, his lower back spasmed so severely before the tournament that he could barely address the ball. He played anyway, finishing 4th. He's gutted out injuries that would have sidelined lesser competitors, a ruptured ankle ligament in 2015 that forced him to withdraw from his Open Championship defense at St. Andrews, a stress fracture in his rib in 2017 that caused multiple withdrawals, a strained wrist tendon in 2011 that he played through anyway. He's always found a way to compete. This time, he chose not to. "I might have been able to gut it out," McIlroy told Golf Channel's Todd Lewis as he left the course, but didn't want to push it with the major season on the horizon. That sentence reveals everything. McIlroy isn't thinking about Bay Hill. He's thinking about Sawgrass next week. He's thinking about Augusta in 33 days, where he'll defend the green jacket he waited 14 years to finally slip on. He's thinking about history. The 2015 ankle injury taught him a painful lesson. He was playing soccer with friends, just messing around, when he ruptured a ligament. That single moment cost him his Open Championship defense at St. Andrews, the WGC Bridgestone Invitational, and months of his prime. He learned that protecting your body means making smart choices, even when every instinct screams at you to compete. Saturday morning, those instincts screamed loud. McIlroy arrived at Bay Hill feeling confident after a second-round 68 that moved him to 4 under and into the top 10. He was 9 shots behind leader Daniel Berger, but Bay Hill is a course where anything can happen. He wanted to play. But as he warmed up in the gym, a small twinge in his back whispered a warning. He went to the range, hoping to hit through it. Instead, the twinge became a spasm. After just a few minutes, he made the call, and in doing so, demonstrated a maturity that only comes from experience. To understand why Rory McIlroy's withdrawal at Bay Hill sent shockwaves through the golf world, you have to look at the calendar. March 7th. The Players' Championship starts in 5 days. The Masters begins in 33 days. For the defending champion at both events, this wasn't just a bad Saturday, it was a potential catastrophe. McIlroy's 2025 season was the stuff of dreams. He finally captured the green jacket at Augusta, outlasting Justin Rose in a playoff to become just the 6th player in history to complete the career Grand Slam. He followed it up with a playoff victory at the Players, beating J.J. Spaun in a 3-hole thriller to claim the 5th major. 2 of the biggest titles in golf, both now needing to be defended within a 5-week window. And now, this. It's just the second WD of McIlroy's PGA Tour career, the stats remind us. The first came in 2013 at the Honda Classic, when he walked off citing a toothache and later admitted his head wasn't in the right place. That was mental. This is physical. This is the back. The history is worth examining. McIlroy has dealt with injuries before. The 2015 ruptured ankle ligament that cost him his Open Championship defense at St. Andrews, the 2017 rib fracture that forced multiple withdrawals, the 2023 back spasms before the Tour Championship that he played through anyway. He's always been the guy who guts it out, who finds a way to compete. That's why this withdrawal hits different. "I might have been able to gut it out," McIlroy told reporters as he left Bay Hill, but didn't want to push it with the major season on the horizon. Translation: this is precautionary. This is strategic. This is a 36-year-old veteran who has learned that playing through pain in March can cost you trophies in April. Sources around McIlroy were quick to label this a precaution rather than a serious long-term concern. He headed back to his West Palm Beach home, just a short private jet hop from Sawgrass, where he will rest and take further medical advice before his scheduled Wednesday press conference. But confidence and certainty are different things, and with the Masters looming, the golf world is holding its breath. As Rory McIlroy drove away from Bay Hill with a thumbs up and those 3 reassuring words, "I'm all good," the golf world exhaled, but only slightly. The immediate crisis had passed. The long-term questions remain. McIlroy's withdrawal was just the second of his PGA Tour career, a statistical anomaly that underscores how remarkably durable he's been across nearly 2 decades. The first came in 2013 at the Honda Classic, when he walked off citing wisdom tooth pain and later admitted his head wasn't in the right place. That was mental. This was physical. This was the back. The timing, as everyone knows, is brutal. The Players' Championship begins Thursday at TPC Sawgrass, where McIlroy is the defending champion after last year's dramatic 3-hole playoff victory over J.J. Spaun. 33 days later, he'll walk to the first tee at Augusta National as the defending Masters champion, the green jacket still fresh in his memory, the chance to join an exclusive group of back-to-back winners dangling in front of him. But here's what gives reason for hope. McIlroy didn't collapse on the course. He didn't re-injure himself during a swing. He felt a twinge in the gym, tested it on the range, and made a mature, calculated decision to step away. That's not a player in crisis. That's a veteran protecting his biggest moments. "I might have been able to gut it out," McIlroy told reporters, but didn't want to push it with the major season on the horizon. Translation? This is precautionary. This is strategic. This is a 36-year-old who has learned that playing through pain in March can cost you trophies in April. The schedule now becomes a waiting game. McIlroy headed back to his West Palm Beach home, just a short private jet hop from Sawgrass. He'll rest, consult with medical experts, and make a call as late as possible before his Wednesday press conference. The smart money says he plays. The cautious money says he'll be careful. For the fans, for the sport, for everyone who understands what McIlroy chasing history means, those 3 words offered the only reassurance that mattered. I'm all good. We'll find out soon enough. The immediate concern is the Players' Championship. McIlroy is scheduled to defend his title starting Thursday at TPC Sawgrass, and sources indicate he's confident he'll be ready. The Irish Times reports he's confident of defending his Players' Championship title despite the Bay Hill withdrawal. But the real prize, the one that defines careers and cements legacies, is Augusta. McIlroy waited 14 years to finally capture that green jacket, outlasting Justin Rose in a playoff to complete the career Grand Slam. Now, just over a month after his Bay Hill scare, he's supposed to walk to that first tee and defend it. That's the question hanging over everything. Sources close to McIlroy describe a player who is confident but not cocky, optimistic but not naive. The back spasms have subsided, the muscles have relaxed, but the memory of that Saturday morning at Bay Hill, the twinge in the gym, the worsening pain on the range, the difficult call to withdraw, is still fresh. He knows his body better than anyone, one insider might say. He's been through enough injuries to understand that backs are different. You can't just tape them up and hope for the best. You have to be smart. The plan, as of now, is to treat the players as a test. 4 rounds at Sawgrass will tell McIlroy and his team everything they need to know about whether Augusta is feasible. If the back holds up under the pressure of competition, if the spasms stay away, the green jacket defense is on. If not, no one wants to think about that possibility. For now, McIlroy is focused on the immediate task. The Players begins Thursday. He'll be there, he'll compete, and the golf world will watch every swing, analyzing every grimace, holding its collective breath, because 33 days later, the real test begins. For more coverage of the biggest stories in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.